Ever notice that law school teaches us how to argue in court, but not how to argue with the IRS? Think about it. We spend years mastering evidence, procedure, contracts, but no one ever showed you how to defend a client in front of the most powerful collection agency in the world, the IRS. That's the skill that separates a generalist attorney from a true tax representative. And it's one of the most lucrative, flexible, and respected specialties in law. Yet, most professionals don't even know that it exists. So today, I want to talk about the legal skill that law school forgot to teach you and how mastering it could change your career path. Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Taxes Tuesday. I am Nafisa Manira, your tax attorney CEO who rescues businesses and individuals with tax debt and trains the next generation of attorneys, CPAs, and EAs to do the same. Welcome. I hope you are having a fantastic start to your week as we are going to jump right into this episode entitled Tax Representation, the legal skill law school never taught you. Right. So here's the truth. Every year, millions of taxpayers fall behind. Whether you're talking about income tax, payroll tax, or just pure life happening, they fall behind and they start to accumulate tax debt. But here's a massive gap in representation because we have criminal defense attorneys who deal in criminal law. We have family law attorneys to defend custody legal battles. We even have personal injury attorneys to defend those who are injured. Yet, when someone's life gets wrecked by IRS tax debt, who steps in? That's where tax representation comes in, the art and science of negotiating with the IRS on behalf of your client. It's advocacy, it's negotiation, it's problem solving, it's everything you already know as an attorney in a field where clients are desperate. The stakes are high, and your expertise can get rewarded accordingly. Now, here's the irony of the situation. Most attorneys, CPAs, and EAs have never learned this skill, even though it's one of the few legal specialties that blends law, finance, and human impact all rolled up in one. It's one of the few that does that. Yet, most professionals have not learned the skill. So let me give you some perspective on it, okay? Now, you can have a single IRS representation case. Let's say a client has walked into your office and they owe $75,000 in tax debt, right? This can often generate 3,000 to 10,000 to even more in professional fees, depending on whether your client has that client has filed all their tax returns, whether there's financial disclosure, the extent of the financial disclosure, this is the extent of your client's finances in terms of income, expenses, their assets, their liability, the equity that they have in those various assets. All of that will factor into your fee. But the average for this type of case is going to run you anywhere from $3,000 to $10,000 in professional fees. And here's the best part. You get to do this without court appearances, without firm politics, and without 80-hour weeks. This is what we call the prestige pivot most professionals are looking for, right? You get to keep your credentials, you get to keep your authority, but you gain control, flexibility, and profitability. Tax representation is recession proof, it's AI resistant, and is desperately needed in these times. And it's one of the few niches where you get to serve real people, you get to serve real businesses, you get to build a 6 or 7 figure or more income dependent on what your goals are. And you still have time for other life activities. You get to become the person, the professional that solves people's tax debt. And here's where the real magic happens, right? The real magic happens in the strategic edge when you know how to read an IRS transcript, respond to a collection notice, or negotiate an offer and compromise. You're no longer irreplaceable. You get to be the person that other professionals call on when they know they have a client before them and it's out of their league. This is the difference between being an attorney, just another attorney, just another CPA, just another EA, and being the specialist who rescues clients from financial disaster. Now, that's the skill the law school forgot to teach you. And it's the one that can rewrite your career story. So here's the best part, this market is wide open. Most attorneys aren't doing it, most CPAs aren't doing it. Most EAs are not doing it. They're too stuck on tax preparation or tax compliance work. So what this means is if you master this skill, you immediately become the expert in your market. You become the attorney that people call when the IRS sends out a levy notice. You become the CPA that people trust when they need an offer and compromise. You become the EA who handles cases nobody wants to handle in the first place. You get to be that person, and you get paid accordingly. So here's what I'm doing. Starting tomorrow, I'm launching a 3-part mini series where I'm going to go deep on 3 additional core skills that law school never taught you, right? The first skill that I'm going to go deep on starting tomorrow is statute of limitations secrets, how to make tax debt disappear legally. The second core skill that I'm going to focus on is the $40,000 math error. How to read Form 433A like the IRS does. And the third core skill that I'm going to touch on is what revenue officers actually want and how to give it to them. These are the three core skills that I'm going to go deep in my mini series, which starts tomorrow. And these are going to be anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes, just short, dive deep on one key core skill at a time. Ready for you to implement tactical, actionable step that you can actually take right now. And if you watch all 3, you're going to walk away with a completely different understanding of how tax representation actually works and how to win at this tax representation game. So remember, episode 1 of this mini series drops tomorrow. So make sure you subscribe and turn on your notifications because you don't want to miss it. And here's the thing. This episode, as well as the mini series episodes, are just the beginning. Because if you're serious about mastering tax representation, if you want the full roadmap, the case walkthroughs, the scripts, the intake, if you want to figure out and know how to win cases with the IRS, then I want to invite you to join me December 2nd through the 4th, right, of this year in Atlanta for my Tax Magic Live. Well, in 3 days, we will make you go from a generalist to a specialist in tax representation. And you will walk away with being certified in 3 days in tax representation. You will know how to address a client who has tax debt that walks in your office. So I'm inviting you to Tax Magic Live. Check the comments for the link, and we'll look forward to seeing you. Make sure you join us, subscribe to our channel. Join us next week for another episode of Let's Talk Taxes Tuesday. And don't forget the mini series I'm going to start tomorrow. Look forward to that. Thank you for joining us today. Bye.